Hello there and welcome back to Satisfactory. Yes, we're back on Satisfactory once again. Good to be continuing our single player playthrough on 1.1. So if you want to hear, last time we got a little bit of more busy work done. We got a few more another pipe in place, a few more belts and stuff like that. Got the factories supplied with water. We got a little pump house completed as well, which is, you know, looking fairly nice. Got it set over there on the little waterfall as well. And then we also got coal going to the different factories and stuff like that and whatnot. So, I mean, we didn't get all that much done, which was kind of unfortunate, but the building of the well house and getting that done was kind of a little bit of a major thing. So we got that. All that's left is to get our nitrogen gas and our sulfur done, get those train stations in place. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Let's go. Alrighty, and here we are. So my voice is going to be a little bit cracked up today. It's going to be a little bit gone. Oh, I forgot I had the jetpack on. Let's go ahead and swap that. But yeah, a little bit cracked up today because I did just do a recording with DDG and Phi over on the Enshrouded server, which we play Enshrouded. So, yep, just coming off of that. There's our heavy oil train. Okay, so today's plan, I know it's a little bit laggy, but today's plan is, like I said, to go and grab the rest of our resources that this factory needs and whatnot. So let's go ahead and turn on resources. There they are. So first things first, I think I'm going to do is we're going to go up here because this is the easiest. Is going to go up and we're going to take this sulfur node and this sulfur node. We're going to bring them to, or this sulfur node maybe, and bring it to either this location or take these two sulfur nodes and bring them here. I think here might be better, but I don't know if I'm going to have the room yet because I don't remember how big that space is up there. But it needs to be big enough for a 5-car train station to be loaded with sulfur and whatnot, and we'll figure out the turnaround and stuff like that too once we're up there. But like I say, it needs to be big enough to fit there because there is a train line. As you can see, the train's going around this corner right here. There is a train line that runs through that area, so we definitely want to put a train station down there. And then on this side of the map, I know we got a nitrogen gas tower over here, but this is a really long ways to take nitrogen gas from here, from there to there, where we're at currently up here. That's a long ways away, as you can see the two markers there. So we're going to go a little bit closer, and we have a train line that runs roughly to that point-ish. Actually, I think it runs... Oh no, it runs over here, doesn't it? Yeah, it runs this way. Yeah, and it goes to about right there or so, if I remember correctly. But right here is another nitrogen gas well with all pier nodes. And the reason that we're going to do a new nitrogen gas rather than trying to grab for the old one, not only because it's across the map, but also if we go over to our signs here that we have set up for this entire build, we need a lot of nitrogen gas we're going to be using per minute. We're going to be using 1150 per minute, and that distance, even with a 10-car train, is not enough. Our factory would use it before the train got back here. So we're going to go a little bit closer with that. Now we could do 2 trains, of course, but you also got to remember too, we got 2 other factories that are pulling from that train station, and they're a lot closer than we are. So by the time our train gets there to pull off from that train station, we might not even get a full load in the first place. Yes, we won't be using all the nitrogen gas, even with this, but this factory is way too far away for that to work properly. So we're going to be pulling the nitrogen gas from a lot closer. Now, why do we need nitrogen gas? You're probably asking. You know, that doesn't make any sense. Fuels, unless you have the alternate. We can find a blender here. So this blender right here makes rocket fuel. We're using the nitro rocket fuel recipe because this makes quite a lot of rocket fuel with very little fuel, a little bit of fuel, a little bit of coal, a little bit of sulfur, and a little bit of nitrogen gas. That's why we need all 3 of these. We got the coal yesterday coming in from a belt, but the sulfur and the nitrogen gas is another thing we need as well. So we're going to go for the sulfur first because it's the easiest to set up if that train station will work in that spot. As you can see, all of our coal right here The reason that this is still flowing is because it's flowing into the train station. I've actually got it to where, you know, where we're going to be bringing in coal by train. I've got this hooked up to the train station, so that's acting as a bit of a buffer right now. Yeah, like I said, we're going to go up to the sulfur first, so we're going to take a quick little train ride. I think the closest place... Any trains coming this way? I think the closest place we're going to do is the rotors. We haven't been over to the rotor factory in a while, so you guys will get a little bit of a tour of the rotor factory, which I think it turned out quite well. I'm going to let the train do it. So rotor factory export, that'll be the closest train station. Actually, the steel's not that close. Well, no, the steel might be the closest, but I'd rather go to the rotor factory anyway. It has a bigger jumping off point. Plus, there's rails all the way over there. So yeah, we'll go over to the steel, or go over to our rotor factory, and then head over to that land bridge from there. See if we can build that train station. So let's go ahead and do it. Alrighty, getting pretty close here. We're not quite there yet, but just in case people haven't seen these builds, because we haven't been over here in ages. There's our stator factory. Go across the bridge here. Or not across the bridge. Well, we got to go across the bridge. But yeah, that's our stator factory there. We've got our motor factory behind it. That big old building there with all the lights. And then he's like, which one? And this is our rotor factory. I'm actually going to turn on self-driving here. The train has to come to a stop before it lets you resume control. But yeah, this is our rotor factory up there on the hill. Some of the best factories I think of this build. Definitely some of my most favorites. Or definitely the rotor, the motor, and the stator factory. Building those in this area, I really did love to. I loved working on those. That was a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll do more builds like that in the future. But this is the land bridge I'm talking about. Seeing if we can hook into... Yeah, I don't think a train station's going to fit on there. No, definitely not. Not a 5-car train station. Definitely not going to fit. And just so you're unaware, one of our rules of this challenge playthrough is everything has to be done by train, but on top of that, the train station can only be, or the train station has a minimum of 5 cars. You can have longer trains, but you can't have shorter than a 5-car train. So we kind of have to deal with that. So more than likely, what I'm probably going to end up doing then, yeah, because there ain't no way a 5-car train. I mean, look how big this is already, just by putting a normal train station down here. We could try. So let's say that's our starter. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would be close. I don't think it's going to fit. I don't think we're going to make that happen. Not without taking some huge leaps. Actually, that's not too terrible. I don't think I can make it work. I think I'd spend an hour trying. But yeah, that's not bad. That was a pretty good pretty good estimate how much space we had here. Obviously, it's not going to work, but yeah, not bad. Okay, so plan B. Actually, there's a plan C as well. The other thing that we can do, this would be very weird of me to do, but I could put a train. I actually planned on putting a train station up here to collect resources at one point. Now I know we got the SAM one going. Oh, but there's also nitrogen gas here as well. That's really far away, but see, we have to pull sulfur from here, but we don't have to pull nitrogen gas. The reason I'm reluctant to do the nitrogen gas is because of how clogged this main rail line is. See all these trains here? We've got encased beams train, we've got copper ore train, we've got temp trains, we've got some iron ore trains. This whole line of track is very clogged up. And so is this one too. The one going down the down this way. Actually, this one's not too bad. Let's see, what's the most likely route they're going to take, right? I guess we got to think about that. The most likely route, if we were to connect in down here, is then to take the desert route out. But if the train line connects in up here, we can get that nitrogen gas up here. Put 2 train stations, 1 for sulfur, 1 for nitrogen gas. We connect it into this spiral. It takes care of both resources in one fell swoop, and the trains don't necessarily take they don't go through the desert area, that area out there, where it's going into these buildings right here. You see that train line, the very thin stripe of train line there that goes to the desert. That line is very clogged, but as long as the trains take this way to get out, they cross this bridge here. This bridge is not too clogged of trains, and going out that way, it's not too bad. I guess the only problem I really see with it is you get 2 trains coming the exact same way, most likely at the exact same time, because they're going to be both coming to a very specific spot. But like I said, it could knock out both resources in one fell swoop with one set of one set of foundations, one set of tracks. We just hook in right here with this thing. I might put what we'll probably do is put a bypass if we can. Let's see. Alrighty, so I finally got this platform in place. I decided to go with this little maneuver here. So basically, I'm just going to put a signal right here. I don't know why. It just feels right to do so. It did actually separate. Okay. So basically, though, we've got a train line. So these two train stations are not going to interfere really with this operation, other than right here. That's it. So we've got this signal which goes into this intersection right here, as just as a connection there, and then I got a little. That doesn't look right, does it? I was not looking. My bad. Let's go ahead and fix that real quick before I get too far. But we do have that connected, so. There we go. Oh, come on, just zoop over. Okay, perfect. We'll just vertical these downwards. No big deal. There we are. That looks a little better. Okay, but yeah, so the trains are now going to, from this I decided to hook into this, that way it's all one intersection. That just makes more sense to me. But yeah, we hook into this particular thing, and then we go. I could have probably made this a little smoother, and I probably will. Let's do it. Let's make it a little smoother right there. That actually doesn't look too bad. There we are. That looks a little better. It doesn't look as weird. But yeah, so the train lines come in there, and then they go this way, and then there's another intersection right here, which, goes to this particular piece. So if the train's going that way, there's this in signal for it, and trains coming in this way, then they could just go straight on into this intersection and go and just continue onwards. So that way they don't interfere with the rest of this over here. Which I'm glad I didn't mess with this too much. We just come back over here and erase all this nonsense. There we go. There's going to be some underground. That's fine. Get that. There we go. A lot of trains coming here for resources, especially once we get our SAM stuff up and going. Yeah, because we've got a SAM mine right here, which is mining SAM. This is the SAM mine 2. So we'll be working on that. We got sulfur 1 as well. I might change this over to sulfur 2 if we end up ever getting another sulfur mine, because that'd make a lot of sense. Alrighty, so now the big questions is how do we get... The nitrogen gas is going to be pretty darn easy to get up here because it's just down here. We just go down the cliffside, and nitrogen gas is a gas, so it doesn't need pumps. That makes everything rather easy. I'll just bring it from here up to here, up this way, and just kind of follow that up into that way. So no big deal there. In fact, I might get a assessment. Actually, go vertical there. A little higher up off the ground. I just want to see the angle of this. I'll zoom it in. Wow, that wasn't even high enough. Actually, that's not too bad. That was really close. I'd slightly adjust that here. So if I put that at the same angle, I think that's the angle right there. Angle. Close. Would it be better for it to go slightly right or slightly left? Slightly left, actually. Okay. Slightly left. The reason slightly left will work... Well, slightly left doesn't even work, does it? Slightly right might be the answer. Slightly right is much better. Okay. It doesn't go off the cliffside, so... Then we can work off that same height. We're going to vertical that up there. There we go. Now we have our angle and our height. So that works for there. And we'll take this grid all the way down. I'm not going to build any kind of buildings out here or anything like that for this particular nitrogen gas well, because it's just too much trouble for what we're trying to do right now. Plus, it's really far out of the way, so it's not like it's a big deal. Might put this here, but then not merge the two grids. And the reason I don't want to merge the two grids is because of this. Huh, that actually wasn't bad. Hold on. Now that I'm doing that, I might rethink it. Is that roughly in the center? That is. Okay. Oh, come on. Come on. There we go. I'm hitting the X key and it's not... Alright. Oh, that was a perfect 45, really? No way. Yeah, that was a perfect 45, too. So that... Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to use this as our height for starters before we start going down the cliffside here. So we'll go probably out this far. A bit further. We're going to have some really tall supports. We're going to have to add in some structure for our supports as well. Because we need 1560, so we need roughly 2 pipes. I'm gonna do as many pipes as this gas well will give me, and then we'll take what we need. That way everything's available at the train station level. Let's see. Is this... Oh. Actually, that one's a better shot. Okay. So we're going to go straight down for a little while. Try not to lose my power here. is that touching the cliff face? I might bring it back one more instead. Yeah, we'll bring it back one instead. We are going to have to put this concrete structure does stay because we need a concrete structure to be able to put pipes on. I mean, we don't necessarily, I mean, I'm actually thinking about, because I don't know how many pipes are we going to get out of this. Does anyone know? Sorry about that lag. Okay, so mostly pure and 2 normals. Okay, so the pure ones are 300 if I remember correctly on the gas wells, or on the well pressurizers. The pure nodes are only half of what they would be on normal liquid nodes. It's like 300, 150, 75, right? So if it's 300, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 300 plus 300, or 300 times 5 plus 300. That's 1800. 1800 is just over what we need for nitrogen gas, so we might need more nitrogen gas. This well might not be quick enough. Well, actually, the trip is pretty decently long, so it might provide what we need. It's just going to be very close. We'll see what happens. If this one ends up being trouble, then we'll leave it hooked up, but we'll go to an alternate gas well that we picked out on the map. That's why I'm like, I'm lucky we got choices as well. Alrighty, so now we've got all of the pipes placed. I got everything hooked up. Some of the pipes I combined. This last one I didn't because it was an odd number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nodes, I believe, was here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 1800. All right, so then the pipes go up here. We've got our support section for our pipes going all the way up with our massive supports. Yeah, stupid phlegm. And also got power going down there. Rerouted my power. Yeah, massive support structure. I decided to get rid of that because it just didn't look good. But yeah, we got our massive support structure going here into our pipes. This looks like a little bit of a mess, but it's got some, it does have some method to the madness right here. So the pipes come in. I had to do some weird stuff with it because I had them stacked and it just was not going to work. Unless, well, hold on. I think I just thought of a way to fix this. Let's get rid of all this. Oop, not that. Get rid of this junk, get rid of this junk. This junk, this junk, this junk, that junk, and that junk there. Okay. Architecture. Or no, wall. Let me grab a wall real quick. And I might actually leave this. There we go. Yeah, it's like I might actually leave that. What we're going to do is we're going to go wall hole. Put them at the level that we need. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, actually, it might be best to do it in here instead. So we're going to bring these ones to the middle. We're just going to use the auto key here. Actually, if I use the horizontal to vertical, it might look a little better. Yeah, it kind of does, actually. Like my brain's just like, you know what? Actually, I have a better way. Let's do that. So then we'll do that, do that. Stupid phlegm, get out of here. Oh, and oh, I thought my game crashed. It's just like I tabbed out to mute my, or went to mute my mic, tabbed out to do that, and it's just like, oh, I think my game just crashed. Okay. I guess not. You know, something I've noticed is now that I'm out of that area, the crashes aren't I'm not having any more crashes. So I think what it is, when you get a certain amount of things in a certain area, it crashes. That's my new theory anyway. Ooh, should we do curved? Let's see what curved looks like. Curved could look pretty good. No, it's like tendrils. No. No, I like nice corners. Let's go. We can go horizontal, vertical. Not that it's really going to matter here, but yeah, just nice. Let me get rid of this real quick. We'll put it back. But... there we go. So yeah, just nice and even curves. Actually, these ones might look better going there. Yeah, they actually look better going there, so we'll do that. Like, stop trying to attach. Still not great, but it's, you know what, it's better than it was. And that's what we can say for that. Very, very nice. Okay, hopefully you didn't hear that. All the interruptions today. But yeah, so basically the pipes go through here. I don't know why it's so... it's just so weird right now. See if we can follow that angle. Maybe just go straight to there. For those. Actually, yeah, that's not bad. Okay. But basically the way this works is we got all these inputs, and what it does is it splits and merges and splits and merges, and it basically tries to fill up all of these all at once. And then once the system is completely full, these buffers will output at 600 per minute into this train station. Let me fix my train here. Okay. We're actually going to turn this train on. Edit timetable. Let's go. If I can spell. Nitrogen. So the nitrogen gas... I need to get rid of this. Change this name to nitrogen gas well 1. Nitrogen gas well 2. Actually, remove that. Fuel plant nitrogen gas well import. The nitrogen gas well 2. Save changes. Turn on self-driving. And what it's going to do, it's going to go to that station empty, but these are set to load, right? Yeah, it's automatic load. Okay, perfect. And that solves that train station. So now all that's left is to do the sulfuric acid. Sulfur, sorry. Is to do the sulfur. So we got a couple of different problems here. That sulfur is way over there. And sure, we could probably build a bridge to get it to come over here, so it makes it over here. The other thing we could do is we could bring it down this cliff face over to this bridge here. So bring it down, oops, like right there, and bring it down that cliffside over to the bridge. Come across the bridge, make it over here, go up this, and then over, and we could follow this on the side. It's like we could follow this and all the way up to that point. And then the other one is way the heck over here. This one's going to be the one that's going to take the longest. So we'll probably do this one first. Go ahead and make our way down here. We got to follow, we're going to probably follow this bridge with our sulfur. Because this particular sulfur mine is way the heck over here. It's all the way underneath this bridge. Well, it's close to underneath this bridge. So there it is right there, and that's why it's got a claim on it, is because it's going into, because we were making black powder with it. But yeah, I got to bring it up this cliffside. We might, well, should we bring it? I don't think we should bring it over the nitrogen gas. I think it's way too far. But if we bring it up to this bridge here and follow this train line all the way around, I'm saying that's way too far to go by itself without any kind of structure, is what I'm saying there. And then we bring it around this way, because we need both pier nodes in order for this to work. We need both pier nodes. And putting a train station that was central to it was not going to work any way because the sulfur nodes are so far away from each other. And we need pretty much, we need 2 pier nodes pretty much. Because we need 1534 or 1564 or something like that. And if we took our 780, which is 2 Mark 5 belts, and we took that's 1560. Yeah, it was like 1534 or something like that. I think is what the number was. So we got to bring both those belts up to that train station up here, which is going to take a heck of a lot of work. So essentially we're going to do structure like we did over there with the pipes, but it's not going to be as big a structure. We're mainly going to be using pipe stackers and these small frame pillars. I'll bring the sulfur, when we get the sulfur up to here, I'll just follow the train line until we get over to this point as well. Once we get to this point, then we're going to bring both belts up here underneath the bridge, and I'm going to follow underneath here. We're going to follow that so it's kind of hidden a little bit, but then it's going to go up to this train station. So yeah, that's where both belts are going to end up at. It's going to end up going into the bottom of this support, going up underneath the bridge and around. Now these are going to be the longest belts I'm ever going to build. I'm not going to build anything longer. Mainly because in this situation, if it was 2 different resources, I wouldn't be bringing them to a central location. I just put a train station at each resource. But since it's 2 sulfur nodes and there's no 2 sulfur nodes next to each other unless they're impure, the only 2 impure ones being over here. There was an impure node underneath my automated wiring factory, and there was another one like right next to it. So it's just like, it's so annoying to have those. But yeah, so we're going to bring those 2 sulfur nodes, and then that should be that for our supply. All we got to do is get the sulfur connected up to this train station, get the train station to actually, the train to actually deliver it, and then we are done with the fuel plant. The fuel plant will be fully operational on its own. And then the only thing we have left to do is building the packing plant so we can actually package the stuff. But we're going to be sending that rocket fuel over to our temporary power plant that we have there. And once we get our packing plant done and the main fuel plant done, or the main power plant done, that's going to take all of our ionized fuel. Once we have that done with the 240 fuel generators, then we can go back to making factories. It's just, I want to make so much power that I don't have to worry about it for the end of the game, until the end of the game. Nuclear is going to be an option after that. It's going to be insane. We're going to have, and I'm going to take all of our boosters, all of our power boosters. Those are also going to be at the power plant. And we're going to have a train station, a 5-car train station dropping off whatever it is in order to enhance those, because I don't know exactly what we need, because I've never been to phase 5, so no spoilers please. But yeah, I've never been to phase 5 yet, so I don't know what we use to enhance those things down there, but I want to remove them all off the map and put them over at the power station. We're going to make a massive power station, 240 fuel generators, use an ionized fuel, all fully overclocked, plus however many boosters we think you need. And then also over there is going to be the battery banks that we're going to have as well for storing power, which is going to be amazing. So yeah, let me get the sulfur done, and then that'll probably be the end of the video if I had to guess. Alrighty, finally we have got the sulfur. That actually took me a couple hours. What the? Okay, that's a little broken. Hold on, let me rebuild that real quick. I might have to rebuild this entire intersection, actually. I just... Maybe that fixes it? That was definitely broken. Definitely. Might even replace this signal here. Should fix it. Wait, was that what I deleted that? Aha, see? Conflicting entry types. Oh no, it does. Okay. It does because of the train station. I thought I had figured out an issue. Nope, that's fine. Okay, so now that we've got the sulfur going, as you can see over there, we have our sulfur mine, bringing our sulfur down here. I forgot to add that extra bit. I don't know if I can get it from here. I don't want to have to fly back up, but I must fix it. Give me power. Give me fuel. Give me fire. Alright, there we go. I meant to put that there to make it look a little more structured. Okay, so yeah, the sulfur comes up and then it goes into this way, and then from over there you can see our belt line coming all the way from over there to all the way over here, going up where I said it was going to go up. It actually goes up so high I had to have triple lifts. Or 2.5 essentially, bringing that up. So yeah, we'll be bringing a full load of sulfur here in just a moment. I'm going to get the train ready. This is the sulfur train 1 actually, because we don't have any sulfur trains. But now that we're mining sulfur, I can actually send a train from the mall over there. I can send a train over here to grab some sulfur as well for our thing, or for our storage. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Okay. I'm just gonna put a marker here for sulfur. I put a marker there where I was mining, but yeah, we'll just put one here. Sulfur mine 1, and then it's going to be 20. We're going to put it down 2400 because that's what the Mark 6 belts will do once we get them. I'm going to say 0 out of 2400, and then mines, wells. Select icon, stamp, and we'll select the sulfur color. There it is. Regular, because it's just a regular mine. Apply. Alright. Sulfur mine 1. I know it's not right where I'm at, but if I put the other marker up here as well at some point. Sulfur train 1 as well. Edit. Sulfur mine import. We're gonna go sulfur mine. We're gonna do this. Save changes. And we're gonna back up. Okay. And then turn on self-driving. We're going to get loaded. Hopefully those train stations are set to unload over there. Yeah, we're going to bring back pretty much a full load of sulfur. It's not complete, but it's going to be pretty darn good. So yeah, let's bring this sulfur all the way over to the fuel plant so we can get it started. Okay, that went according to plan. Yeah, according to plan. That's right. I came in by the train, I hopped off the train to turn off power so that we didn't start just making rocket fuel immediately, because I wanted the belts and stuff to fill up when the train unloaded. And guess what I forgot to do? I don't know if anybody caught it. I thought I had put all of the train stations that needed to be set to unload, but I didn't, as well as the nitrogen gas train was not set as well, which is really, really annoying. So yeah, my bad. Like I could have swore I set those, but maybe I didn't. I might just leave the power on to say the hell with it. Oh, we got another train coming in. Oh, what train was that one? I love that, it's just looping. Okay, so rocket fuel, I do have the ionized fuel turned off anyway, but yeah, these should all start getting full of nitrogen gas. Or not. Wait, did that unload? It did unload. Hello? Nitrogen gas? Are you there? Hello? Something's wrong. These are hooked up, I'm pretty sure. Oh, don't tell me they're hooked up to the wrong port. No, they're not hooked up to the wrong port. What? Okay. What? Oh, they're going. Okay, they're filling up. All right, cool. They're going at max speed, so nitrogen gas. I guess I just got impatient. Maybe it just took a second. Let's go ahead and check our blenders for our rocket fuel. There's a nitrogen gas. Okay, good. 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 And good. All right, cool. So now we just gotta wait for the sulfur. Yeah, I'll just let it come in. There goes our heavy oil train again. Good boy. Also had a problem with plastic earlier today too. Guess what happened to the plastic? We overfilled on heavy oil again. We won't hear in a minute. Once we start making that rocket fuel. Oh man. It's gonna be great. Probably gonna take that train a minute to get here, so I guess we'll just wait around till it gets here. Alright, here we go. We're gonna follow our sulfur lines. Both of these lines should fill up. I'm also waiting for my power shards to upload. I only got one uploader doing them, so it's gonna be pretty slow. But they stack in 100s, so I've only had 500 to choose from. So that's like, I'm trying to pull a bunch of power shards for our ionized fuel because I want to see the ionized fuel work today too. So we're gonna make that work. Yep, and full train unload, and off the sulfur goes. Racing down the stretch. They're neck and neck. Laggy as all hell. But he's going to catch up because he's got the inside corner. Bam, he got caught up. But I don't think it's going to be enough considering these two corners are really long. Up the hill and around the curve. Pulling ahead. Pushing back. Oh, almost caught him. He might catch up to this corner though. Oh, I think they caught. They are neck and neck right now. Left lane slightly faster. Going. Oh, he's gone. He crashed. Sorry. And bam. So now we're gonna start seeing some rocket fuel being made. We're making rocket fuel and we're making compacted coal, which that compacted coal is racing over here to start making turbo fuel. Turbo fuel is going. I'm my own hype man right now. Turbo fuel is being made. The first batch of turbo fuel being pushed out down the pipe and into our turbo fuel train. This factory is almost fully functional. I think it goes. Oh, I have it loading from the front or from the rear to the front. So we should start seeing some turbo fuel. Yeah, you're seeing it just a little bit poking through as well. Stupid flam. Okay. So power shards. Let's pull some more power shards out, let those upload again. And we're starting to make some turbo fuel, and we should start seeing some rocket fuel as well in this train station. Yep, there's our rocket fuel. I like that it's behind this this glass here. When the rest of this is just like, normal glass. But rocket fuel, they get the special pressure glass, which makes sense. So yeah, we're making rocket fuel as well to put down to the train station. And you can see we got one belt. Oh, the other belt's for the power shard, that's right. Yeah, we got one belt down to the train station because that machine is full, so it's going down to the train station here. And being sent into the train station to be sent out via train to go to our munitions factory at a later date. But also, when this belt gets full, when the train station backs up, then it's going to be sent down here to go to the sink down on the floor, which the sink is over there in the administration building. Yeah, look at all the sulfur going. We are making our way. These two belts are going to eventually, these two belts will catch up to all the machines. It's just going to take a while because we're pulling, was it 15? Dang it, now I'm going to need the number. Why are you guys waiting? Oh, you're full of rocket fuel already. Oh, that works. You know what? That works too. Actually, let's turn on the power for these machines as well, because I don't have the power shards yet. Let's grab some more. Might be running my stock a little low on power shards, but I want to make some ionized fuel as well, just to claim that we did it. Yeah, let's turn this on. That way we can fill those machines up full of rocket fuel. I doubt I'll have enough power shards to do any kind of real fueling, but yeah, this facility is fully operational. Haven't even got power shards all the way down to the end yet. But yeah, fully operational. So obviously once the power shard supply runs out here, then we're going to stop making ionized fuel. But that shows the whole system working. That's what I wanted to test today. So next time we'll get to working on that packing plant. We're going to make a bunch of train stations kind of like this. It's going to be open air mostly. It's going to be kind of like this. So a bunch of train stations, a bunch of pipes, no belts for that one. Well, actually there will be some belts for the packages and stuff, but it's going to receive packages and tanks, and then it's going to send out, or it's going to have packaged, it's going to have all the different fuel types being packaged and uploaded as well as sent to them all. So we need to get that done. Plus we need to do the power station as well. Next week we'll get started on that probably. We'll see what happens. But for now, though, that is going to be it for this episode of Satisfactory. I'm excited. My power station my fuel plant works fully, 100%. Very nice. Oh, with very little issue. That is very good for a project this size to have very little issues. All right. Well, like I said, that is going to be it. So I do hope you enjoyed. Oh, and before you go, I'd like to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of the investors you can see on your screen right now. Seriously, thank you. You guys are awesome. It is much appreciated. And until next time, I guess it's a goodbye.